Imagine the following situation. You find yourself disoriented in a dense forest. Without a map or compass, the sun is setting on the horizon. Despair begins to intensify as the awareness of solitude sets in. At this moment, a person appears holding a map, claiming to know exactly how to rescue you from this situation. What would you choose? Would you trust this person, or seek to find your own way? Now, reflect on your life. How many times have you found yourself disoriented, without a clear direction, and unsure of what decision to make? This experience reminds me of Proverbs 3:5-6, which states, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding." This is exactly what I would like to discuss with you today. When I read this verse for the first time, I confess that I found myself immersed in deep reflection. What does it really mean to trust in the Lord with all your heart? It is not merely about acknowledging God's existence, but about fully submitting control of my life to Him. This surrender is complex, as we often desire to maintain absolute control over all situations. We have been taught to rely on our logic and our problem-solving abilities, which often leads us to base our decisions on a limited understanding our own. However, this verse encourages us to transcend those limits. I recall a situation I experienced a few years ago. I was faced with a critical choice, a decision with the potential to profoundly influence the course of my life. I thought I had full control of the situation, believing I was aware of what was truly best for me. Yet, deep down, there was a voice suggesting that I pause and place my trust in God, seeking His guidance before making any decision. And do you know what happened? When I finally bowed down and entrusted that circumstance to God, something extraordinary manifested. It did not happen instantly, but gradually the circumstances began to align in ways I could never have predicted. This is the essence of the message contained in Proverbs 3:5-6. When we recognize the divine presence in each of our paths, He enhances and directs our ways. He guides us along the right path, even when uncertainty prevails. It's as if God is the mentor in the forest, holding the map and having complete knowledge of the paths we should take. I have learned that trusting in God does not mean that life will be free of challenges. Rather, it means that we will never be completely alone. Allow me to ask, how many times have you tackled a problem alone, only to encounter frustration? I find myself in that situation countless times. It is inherent in our nature to seek control and believe that we possess knowledge about what is most appropriate. However, the reality is that we face limitations. We are unable to perceive the entirety of our lives, while God sees the complete picture. When I decided to relinquish control to Him, I realized that He was taking care of every detail, and this provided me with a peace I had never experienced before. I remember an episode when I was going through a deep emotional crisis. Everything seemed to converge toward failure, and I was searching for a solution. However, nothing seemed to work effectively. It was at that moment that I understood I was trying to do everything on my own without seeking divine help. I chose to stop my activities, raise my prayers, and ask for guidance. It was not an easy task. I longed for immediate answers. However, over time, God began to reveal a path that I would never have perceived on my own, and this completely transformed the situation. I am aware that you have also experienced or are experiencing similar situations. You may be dealing with a professional challenge, a family complication, or even a significant choice regarding your future. I want you to know that God is by your side. He awaits your trust in Him as you hand over your worries into His care. He will not disappoint you. Trusting in the Lord with all your heart is a practice that requires daily dedication. It is not an isolated action, but rather an ongoing and enduring process. It is relinquishing control, recognizing that we do not always have all the answers, while still placing our trust in God's understanding of what is best for our lives. And what is truly fascinating, when we place our trust in God, He operates in ways we could never conceive. He unveils opportunities where there were once stubborn obstacles and transforms circumstances that seemed irreparable. Today, I invite you to venture into this act of faith. What aspect of your life have you not yet fully surrendered to God? It could be a relationship, a desire, or a financial issue. Regardless of the situation, I encourage you to place your trust in the Lord. I am a living testimony of His faithfulness. He is infallible. If this message has resonated with your heart, I invite you to show your appreciation by liking it, sharing it with someone who needs this message, and subscribing to the channel for more enriching reflections like this one. Share in the comments how God has guided your life or what challenge you are currently facing. I am eager to hear your story and lift up prayers on your behalf. I deeply thank you for being here with me today, and it's important to remember, God has an extraordinary plan for your life. Trust Him. I hope you have perceived the depth of this message just as I felt it while writing it. We look forward to seeing you in the next video.